Hey there, Arma here. Welcome back, guys, to another brand new video. I hope everyone's doing okay. Everyone, whoever is watching this around the world. So yeah, let's get started. I guess today, guys, I decided I wanted to talk about, have you ever been stood up? And I guess the reason why I want to talk about it, because I guess why not? And I feel like a lot of people go through this, and I have been through it as well. So when it comes to being stood up, you kind of have like it's kind of like in a weird way it's like this form of embarrassment because well, let me break down basically what being stood up means. Even though I know people know what it is, but being stood up is a little bit different from being ghosted, which is basically like someone just randomly like leaves the situation out of nowhere. It's kind of like a impromptu version of being stood up. But being stood up is actually when you had something planned with someone else or a group of people, and you guys set a date, you got everything, you got the time down, all the details ready, and when that day shows up, you know, out of nowhere the person doesn't show up, or they might say, oh yeah, I'm doing this or that. But most of the time when you're stood up is basically when you plan something with someone, and when it comes time for that planned date, the other person doesn't show up, or the group or whoever you were with doesn't show up or do not commit to their plans. So basically, I guess I want to get into like the aftermath of being stood up. Like, you're gonna obviously, like, when you get stood up by someone, you obviously feel bad and you feel embarrassed, because it's like, we put all this energy into planning something, into having things ready, and you're in a certain mindset where you have certain things ready to go, and then when the other half or the other side of the party doesn't contribute or do their part, you kind of feel let down, you kind of feel embarrassed, and you're like, well, if I knew you were gonna if you were gonna stood me up, I would have just not do anything in the first place. I would have just been like, like, let's cancel this and let's move on. Then you end up looking like the guy in this picture here. You're frustrated, but at the same time, the guy in the picture also looks constipated. But that's not the point. But you end up looking like, you look like that, or you feel like that. You're like, ugh, why did I waste my time? But we have to remember that it's something that we can't control. And, there's ups and downs to life and your experience on this world. And so you should basically, everything is all about how you react to it. So someone could, not follow up, and they could have disappeared out of nowhere. But you kind of have to deal with the emotions and how you feel. Like, man, I feel this is messed up, I feel bad. Or you can even talk about what happened to someone else, and then over time you have to move on. Maybe with how the universe works, maybe that was meant to happen. Things happen for a reason, and maybe in that situation and time it wasn't meant to happen. Maybe you'll get a better opportunity with someone else or another group of people. So let's get into why, different reasons of why people get stood up. um Maybe the person was just flat out not interested in doing it anymore, and didn't know how to communicate that they did not want to continue with the planned like with the planned event you guys had. Another reason could be some people just, like I mentioned, some people just really don't have the best communication skills, and they aren't really considerate about you being informed or updated on how they feel about certain things. Another thing is maybe someone had, an emergency or something serious going on, and that's not on their mind. Another thing is people are busy and there's a lot of things going on, and they probably totally forgot. Another thing is they probably didn't set a reminder, and some people set reminders and still forget. But yeah, things like this just happen, and there's not really much you could do on your end but just to communicate to the best of your ability. And so if you've been stood up, just know that most likely there'll be a better opportunity, and that try not to put your eggs in one basket. And I know for myself, dealing with being stood up, I could never understand. It's like, why? We had everything planned. We were even like, you could even be stood up in the middle of you guys like working on a project or doing something. Like, and you're like, why are we stopping now? Like, it was going fine. Like, why, But it is what it is, guys. I hope you guys enjoy this video anyways. I hope you guys can relate to this. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. If you can relate to this video, make sure to like, comment, share this to other people you know who could use it. And yeah, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.